Let's check in on our military and see what's up. This is from Newsweek. U.S. Army lost track of where they put $1 billion in weapons and arms transfers in Iraq and Kuwait. Well, that's lovely. The U.S. Army failed to properly monitor more than $1 billion worth of arms transfers in Iraq and Kuwait, according to a declassified government audit obtained by Amnesty International released Wednesday. This audit provides a worrying insight into the U.S. Army's flawed and potentially dangerous system for controlling millions of dollars worth of arms transfers to a hugely volatile region, Patrick Wilkin, Amnesty International arms control and human rights researcher, said in a statement. Amnesty obtained the documents through Freedom of Information law requests. The group's research documents lacks controls and record-keeping within the Iraqi chain of command, which has resulted in arms manufactured in the U.S. and other countries winding up in the hands of armed groups known to be committing war crimes and other atrocities such as the Islamic State militant group ISIS. Wow. So what they're saying is, yeah, we lost about $1 billion worth of weapons and a lot of it probably went to ISIS. That's what that means. Allow me to take the controversial position on this. I don't think they care. I don't think they care. They frame it as like, Amnesty International is like, whoa, guys, hey, hold on now. This is like a huge problem. Let's tell the government about it, because gosh golly, if we tell the government about it, they're obviously going to act immediately and fix it. Nah, son. Nah, son, that's not how it works. What we have in the U.S. is a military-industrial complex, which means that so-called defense contractors pay the government. They pay politicians to run their campaigns, and then they pass bills that allow these companies to get way more contracts and way more money than they need or they deserve. So what we do is we build arms and we build weapons, we build tanks, we build fighter jets, we build all that just nonstop, pump it out, pump it out, pump it out. And then we don't know what to do with it. So sometimes tanks sit in the Nevada desert for years and years and years. But usually what we do is, sell the weapons to Egypt, who's a giant human rights violator, and Sisi recently killed peaceful protesters about a year or two ago. Yeah, fun to give it to Sisi so we can do an authoritarian crackdown. Give it to Netanyahu so we can massacre innocent Palestinian babies. Give it to Saudi Arabia and they'll bomb Yemen to smithereens. Give the arms and the weapons to the most authoritarian regimes on the planet and pretend like we believe in freedom and democracy at the same time. And, hey, we have such a surplus of it that, whoops, look at that! We were trying to give the weapons to Iraq and Kuwait, which is bad enough, by the way. Even if it went in the hands it was supposed to go into. Still bad enough. Whoops, but what are we going to do? We lost it, and it turns out it ended up in the hands of ISIS. Now, again, you go, well, come on, they're not, like, in favor of that. Well, you know, we're very strongly against the Assad government in Syria, and who's fighting Assad? Al-Qaeda and ISIS. And a lot of them, yes, happen to end up getting American weapons. Sometimes it's through a proxy, through Turkey or through Saudi Arabia or a Gulf state. You know, sometimes that happens. And sometimes, whoops, you lose $1 billion worth of weapons, and it just happens to end up in the hands of ISIS. Sometimes that too. So this is a ruse. That's what it is. They don't care. They don't give a shit. Petraeus fucking floated the idea openly. Hey, let's arm Al-Qaeda. So why would we be surprised that, ooh, look at that, some ISIS happened to get some of our weapons, what are we to do? It's all about the business, it's all about the money. They don't care about the consequences because they really don't believe that those consequences are going to come back around and get us. And they're idiots for not believing that, but that's what they believe. You know, we created bin Laden, we armed and funded the Mujahideen to fight the big bad Soviet Union. The Mujahideen eventually split up and became the Taliban and Al-Qaeda. Osama bin Laden. There were articles written in Western newspapers calling him a freedom fighter. There's pictures of the Taliban in the White House with Ronald Reagan. So, you know, sorry to pop your bubble if you're some sort of noob, as the kids would say, to politics, but that's what's going on. You know, we gave $1 billion worth of arms to jihadists and Islamists, and we're going to go, oops, we'll try our hardest to make sure that doesn't happen again.